Catholics versus convicts. A great game. But what does this mean for both teams? Well, let's find out. This is the Breakdown Sportscast. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Breakdown Sportscast channel. I'm your host, Kory Willis. Got a quick video for you guys. Not going to be long at all. I hope everyone out there is having a wonderful Labor Day out there. Hope you guys are eating some good food, of course. I know I'm going to be, trying to find something good, whether it's some barbecue or something. But overall, guys, I hope you all are doing well. If you can, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button on the video. It's definitely important for Chris and I and how we can improve this show for the future for you all, with giving you guys great content. So as always, guys, we very much appreciate you guys' support with the show. What are we talking about, of course? Well, that great game last night, Miami taking on Notre Dame. It was a great matchup, of course. It had to be a winner, had to be a loser. But in the end, we found out Miami was going to be the last man standing in this matchup. 27-24 was your score in this ball game. Miami now 1-0. And they're looking good under Carson Beck. Look, I think Carson Beck is a really good quarterback. Of course, I know a lot of people, a lot of Georgia fans out there probably, looking at this video right now saying, "Kory, what are you talking about? This guy was terrible under us." Look, I'm gonna say this. I think the whole pairing between Carson Beck and Georgia just didn't work anymore. I think just when you look at how the way Carson Beck performed in this game at Miami, in comparison to what he performed in Georgia, it was just a lot of distractions. I think a lot of guys didn't gel with him, and I think vice versa, you could say. And overall, he had to make the decision that was best for him, and he felt that Miami was the program that he could continue developing into the quarterback that he wanted to be. So I think it paid dividends, of course. And, hey, if you're a Miami fan, Carson Beck needed to do what you wanted him to do. I mean, 20 for 31, 205. And 2 touchdowns. He didn't throw any picks in this game. He did exactly what you wanted him to do, which was be efficient. So you can't really ask for anything more than that, y'all. if you're a Miami fan, of course. So hats off to Carson Beck. He needed this. Mario Cristobal, I can go on and on about Mario Cristobal needing a game like this. This is a year that I think is very important for Mario Cristobal. Look, we saw what he did last year with having Cam Ward out there. Now with the Tennessee Titans, hopefully going to be doing some big things there in Nashville. They were this close until they wasn't last season. Losing the games that they lost. But you can argue that they should have lost that Louisville game. They squeaked out of that one. But yeah, once they started falling to Georgia Tech and then, the bowl game, of course, it's everything kind of came full circle with Miami not being where, a lot of fans wanted them to be at. So, this is a great first game win for the Hurricanes in, getting over the hump. This long season, of course, but you don't want to keep that bad feeling, that aura that a lot of Miami fans had felt at the end of last season to continue into this first game. They needed this victory, and they got it. So, hats off to Carson Beck. Hats off to Mario Cristobal. We'll see what happens later on this season as the season progresses. But if you're a Miami Hurricanes fan, you can go to sleep at night. Moving on to Notre Dame. Notre Dame last year, they went to the national championship, came up short, and I think for Marcus Freeman, this is definitely, look, if you want to lose a game, and of course you never want to lose a game, but if you had to lose a game, this is probably the one to lose. I'm not even kidding. This is probably the one to definitely lose at the end of the day. I think that Notre Dame is definitely going to still be a really good football team, and as we're mentioning, let's go ahead on to the schedule right quick for Notre Dame. And you have a big opponent in Texas A&M coming up this week. Last season, they took care of business against A&M, and now they have to take on the Aggies in College Station, or they'll be taking on Texas A&M at Notre Dame. So, this is going to be an interesting ball game for sure. And I think when you look at the schedule, there's plenty of room for improvement. I think they can handle this schedule. So long as, they don't get too complacent. I think Marcus Freeman is a really good coach in making sure that they don't get complacent at all. But hey, I think Notre Dame definitely can manage this schedule properly, as long as they don't stumble into any more roadblocks. Of course, we've seen them, take on teams like Northern Illinois and lose those games. So, hopefully they can take care of business this season with a schedule like this. It's not too hard. I don't think they'll too much get punished for it. It is what it is. But they just gotta win. That's all I can say. In terms of Miami's schedule going forward, they have Bethune-Cookman coming up this Saturday. They should win that game heavily. Moving along, they got Florida pretty early in the schedule, just like they did last year. So that's going to be an interesting game. I think both these teams will be ranked, of course, heading into that showdown. And you got at Florida State, going to be an interesting ball game. Look, they're Miami's quest to get into the playoffs is definitely tougher than Notre Dame's. So there's some games on the schedule. At Florida State, Louisville is not going to be easy. At SMU will be interesting. NC State, they're always in the mix of ruining people's seasons or getting close. So we'll see what happens with that. Kyron Drones at Virginia Tech, and we saw the Hokies take on the Gamecocks yesterday, and they came up short, but I still think Virginia Tech is not a team that you should take lightly at all. And then Pittsburgh always ruins seasons for people. So in NC State and Pittsburgh is like 1A, 1B at this point. So I'm here to tell you, y'all, it won't be an easy season for any of these teams. I think that both of these teams have an opportunity to still make it to the playoffs, but they have to play the games, and we'll see. We'll see if both teams can take care of business each and every week into getting in one of those playoff spots. But yeah, that's just the video that I had for you guys. It was a great game, like I said, and yeah, we'll definitely see what happens this season with both Miami and Notre Dame and trying to get to the playoffs. But yeah, guys, that's the end of the video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It's definitely important for Chris and I as we improve the channel, of course. So until next time, I'm Kory Willis. This is the Breakdown Sportscast. We'll chat with y'all later. Peace.